And this week we want to touch on how Kamala Harris lost the election. So what does it say about the strategic foresight
They messed up.
Of the Democratic leadership?
They messed up.
Well, don't be emotional. I mean,
now if he died, he died. Now it's just that Kamala would just take over.
Yeah.
And then guess what? She made it prove herself.
Yeah.
You don't want him to pass away.
Yeah.
But if he did win and pass away in the House, just saying, what's so funny?
Just thinking about it. But so Americans felt like they were being ignored.
Yes.
And
yes.
Trump played on that.
They played on that.
And Trump used that.
Yes.
And that's why Trump
He won. But here's the thing. Okay,
I
go
can't
ahead.
finish my sentence.
Okay.
That's why I said everybody after a loss is going to try and come up with a reason why the Democrats lost. And nobody really knows the answer except for the one who went to vote.
Yes.
That's it. Let's chill. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Chilling with the Chaplins.
Yes, welcome.
This is your host, Siza, Lady Chaplin, and...
Yes, your boy, Coach LJ. Yes.
Yes, so we are back on our... we're calling it our special episodes where we're talking about the election, of course. Last week, we covered on how Donald Trump actually won. And this week, we want to touch on how Kamala Harris lost the election. Well, I wanted to say I'm a Democrat, but I don't think it counts because I don't vote. So. But my husband is an independent, so
Yes.
that's a discussion for another day. So in this week's episode, we're really going to just tap into seeing what went wrong with the Democrats. Was Kamala Harris set up for failure in the beginning? Was the political strategy not thought of like thoroughly? Did they lead with the wrong narrative? What went wrong? I'm sure most of you guys who were pro Kamala are also wondering what went wrong, because we thought she had it in the bag, right? Because she raised over $1 billion US dollars within a period of like 100 days. She had all these celebrities. Maybe that was the problem.
Maybe that was.
Pumping her up. But we had the same celebrities pumping Barack Obama.
I know. And another thing, too, because that's why you can't believe TV as well, because sometimes, you know, they say it was so close, but it probably was always big.
I don't know.
Remember, they didn't want to say the real numbers because, you know, President Trump would throw a fit if Kamala was gaining or in the lead. So, you know, that's why you can't really trust the polls and the TV and what they said, because you don't know if the numbers really true.
Well, those are the polls. And sometimes the polls don't say the real truth because it's
biased.
Not really biased, but it's an abstract of people.
Yes,
it's not the whole population.
Yes.
You just take a certain number of people, and probably the people that they've taken don't really represent the masses.
Yes.
Okay, but let's go back to our discussion on. We're gonna really. I want us to really narrow into looking into what was the era of the Harris campaign. You know, did they focus on the wrong things, as I've rightly mentioned? And additionally, was them hammering on Trump's character their downfall? Did it make them lose the voter interest? You know, because from the beginning, we saw Kamala really, really pushing and leading on Donald Trump's character. Not that nobody knew what Donald Trump was capable of, because he wasn't really, you know, very secret about it. He put it out there that he is who he is. But was it right for a sitting vice president to speak so poorly of his opponent? Not that his opponent was keeping quiet too. Yes. He even called her the B word. So I don't know. Right now, I just think that experts and commentators and newspapers and TV channels, everybody's just trying to come up with an answer. the real truth is that only the voters know the answer. They know why they didn't show up. They don't know why those who had declared that they were going to vote Democrats ended up voting Trump.
Or stay home.
Or just... So you're saying most of the people stayed home?
A lot of people stayed home.
Well, let's talk about it.
I believe a lot of people stay home.
So strategic leadership decisions, where did it go wrong with that? How do you think that the Democrats' choice of switching on their voters, really on their base last minute, was the right decision? Actually not allowing Kamala to go through a primary, which is critical in American politics, so that the Americans, voters vote themselves.
So you're saying you're making a choice for me?
For me, literally.
That's basically what they're saying.
Because it's like
you're choosing.
Kamala was thrown in their face.
Yes. You're saying it probably be the people choice and saying this is why they messed up. I feel like all along I believe the Biden. I like the Biden. I think they should have stayed behind Biden.
You like Joe Biden?
Joe Biden, President Biden. Yeah, I like the Biden. And I think they should have stayed with him, especially if it's this late. You know, come on, it's August already.
But what about his mental health? Because
I think if they're going to make a decision, if they're going to do this, they should have did it last year. So that Kamala had an opportunity.
So what you're saying is they should not have allowed him from the first place to run. They just ran a primary and elected whichever candidate won the primary, and not go with Biden from the word go.
Maybe from last year they had.
That's what I'm saying. From the word go.
Oh yeah, last
year
from
the nomination.
Yes, from the nomination last year. So they had a whole year. And this is what they should have did. They knew. Could y'all remember the government? They knew if he had dementia. They knew this. They know if he had health challenges. You think they don't know? But they a lot of stuff. They hide things.
Yeah.
You think they don't know things that we don't know?
Yeah.
They know. They know if he had health issue. They know if he was coming down with dementia. But they still pushed him. And then another thing, what messed him up.
So they set him up for failure.
Set him up and her
up. So what does it say about the strategic foresight?
They messed up.
Of the Democratic leadership?
They messed up.
Well, don't be emotional. I mean, let's just, what do we say about the strategic decision-making of the Democratic leadership? I guess it's telling us as voters that they do not have a clear line on even the future of the party.
Exactly, yeah.
Because when Biden was forced to resign, because he was literally forced.
He was forced, yeah.
Because
he didn't want to. He did not want to. He did not want to.
But here comes the thing. Initially, when he ran, he did say he was running for 4 years. That's initially what he had said.
Okay.
And then I guess power got to him.
Yes, he enjoyed it.
It's so nice to use the Air Force One and being pampered and having felt it as a VP.
Yes.
But for 8 years. But isn't that enough? Because he was VP for 8 years.
Yes.
But this is what was happening, that he changed his mind on the base. Because the base knew that he was in for 4 years, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I think the Democratic leadership made a mistake in...
They didn't know who was next.
Exactly.
They didn't know who was next.
Because initially, the VP, when she was put in the ticket with Biden... People weren't so excited about her anyway.
No, and that's why, and because they had her hands tied, she wasn't saying much as a vice president.
You can't say much as a vice president.
No, you can't say much. You say some things.
No, you don't, because you're just the neck of the president.
Well, I'm saying, but nobody really liked her. So she had 4 months to try to turn people that didn't like her.
Versus somebody who's been doing it for over 10 years. Yeah.
So they threw her to the wolves, and they set her for failure. And now,
so she could have won if she had been given enough time.
Yeah, she could have won
to work the base. Yes. Just like Trump was on our face for the last 10 years, so we already knew his rhetoric. Yes. And speaking to people outside of the country, hearing their views on Trump, a lot of propaganda was, you know, and even news on Trump was fed to the international media.
Yes, yeah.
So many people in the international media are for Trump.
Yes.
Because that's what they were fed over 10 years.
Over 10 years.
And Kamala, nobody really knew her.
Nobody knew her.
Until the last 3 months.
Yes. And you gotta remember, it doesn't matter if it was good or bad.
Yeah.
Because they always say,
bad news
is still good.
It's still PR.
It's still PR.
Yeah.
So because your name is still in the
people's
news,
faces.
It's still in people's faces. So even though bad, and this is why one of the things, that's why they messed up with that as well. But going back to, they set her up for failure. I think if they should have just either stuck with Biden. I know he messed up during the debate, but you know what? It's okay.
But the thing is, when he messed up, it wasn't really okay, because that took away the confidence people had in him.
I agree. And then,
you know, because his decline is becoming really drastic.
Really drastic.
I don't think he would have survived the next 4 years anyways.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't. But I think he had a better shot if he would have stood there. I think they had a better shot if he would have stood there.
Or if they could have been, even right now, I think after this loss, they should really get a younger candidate and start pushing that person.
Yeah, really drastic.
I don't think he would have survived the next 4 years anyways.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't. But I think he had a better shot. Because
we already know that Trump is in for 4 years. He can't do another term.
He can't do another. So, and they prepare. They know. They got a plan. Because they plan is to do it
forever.
Forever. So they already have a plan. They know, okay, who's going to be the next person in line.
Yeah.
So,
I hope it's not Vance.
You never know.
Oof.
But here's the thing. They already know.
I don't like it.
They're trying to get this thing for 3-4 terms in a row. So that they can control everything for like the next 16 years. Yeah. So and especially if everything goes through and he's do well these 4 years, now they have a bigger chance. They have a bigger chance to take house for the next 4 years. Yeah, after Trump.
Because you are right in terms of Biden, because some of the voters believe that having left Biden continue with the election could have given much more stability to the base.
Yes.
You know, because they already know Biden.
They already know Biden.
This is the thing.
Even though he was felon, but they were like, you know what? I already know him. He's not doing that bad. But I still know him. At least I know he's going to do the job. Now, if he died, he died. Now, it's just that Kamala would just take over. Yeah. And then guess what? She made it prove herself. Yeah. You don't want him to pass away. Yeah. But if he did win and pass away in the house, just saying, what's so funny?
Just thinking about it.
If he does pass away in the house, but at least they know, okay, you know what? We still have stability. And all she got to do is just take over. And when they show, what they show was, they show a lot of indecisive. They show a lot of that they didn't have their stuff together. Yeah, they didn't have their stuff together. It showed that it was a lot of disarray within the base. They show all that stuff during that time.
People felt like they just were being shoved.
Yes.
With Kamala.
Yeah.
And you know, like you're saying, with the thing is with I think with what Kamala failed to also appeal to the voters is that when she appeared on The View, and they asked her, what's the thing? We're just going to play the clip as well. What's the thing that she would change in her administration different from Joe Biden? Because, of course, since she's the VP of Joe Biden, people were thinking that she's going to continue with Joe Biden's policies.
Yes, that's true.
And she never really said she wasn't.
Yes.
Because she was so loyal to Joe Biden as her boss and as her president.
Yeah.
So she was given an opportunity to express herself, and her first answer was, nothing comes to mind.
Nothing comes to mind.
Nothing comes to mind. That was the first when she was asked, what would you do differently? The clip is going to play just now. So,
would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, you know, because it showed that you don't have a plan.
Yeah. So this was an admission as far as the voters are concerned, that she's just going to continue Joe Biden's policies, and she's not going to come as a fresh face as she's been pushing herself to be, so that really, I think, hurts her, that people were still, with Joe Biden, a lot of polls.
What you want to continue on the plan? Okay,
with Joe Biden, a lot of polls were already indicating that the voters were not happy. Americans were not happy. He is president in history who has received less than 40% of polling. Showing actually almost every week the polling showed that he was declining in terms of acceptance from the Americans. Americans were unhappy about the high inflation rates. They were unhappy about the economy. They were unhappy about a lot of issues, especially immigration, illegal and undocumented immigrants that were allowed into the country, and the Biden administration allowed that. But so Americans felt like they were being ignored.
Yes.
And Trump played on that.
They played on that.
And Trump used that.
Yes.
And that's why Trump
won. That's why he won.
So you were saying it's okay to follow, to continue with the policies.
Yeah. You know what? If they have a plan, you don't want it. It's okay to follow the policy, but you also want to add your spin on it.
So she later thought about it in the View and spun it around and said, well, she will add a Republican in her cabinet, but that was not good enough. Voters wanted to hear something else instead of her telling us that, oh, she'll just add a Republican into power, in her cabinet. Another president doesn't make much of a difference. What voters wanted to hear was her plans on the economy, and how she was going to help reduce the high inflation that's happening right now, and how she was going to help with the southern border with all the influx of illegal immigrants coming in.
Yeah, but she focused on the other issues that wasn't really important to America at that time. Yeah. When Trump was focused on the issue that the people... So basically, he would listen to the people. Yeah. He knew what they wanted, and he just fed it. Yeah, he fed them he fed right into their emotions. Yeah, he knew what they wanted. He knew what they were fed up with.
Let's talk about the Harris campaign focus and the voter priorities. Mm-hmm. Let's just touch on that. How the Harris campaign put emphasis on the abortion rights. More than anything else.
On anything else.
Yes. As a woman. For me, that was one thing that would have made me vote for the Harris campaign or the Harris ticket. But was it enough?
Because people Roe v. Wade already happened.
And guess who made it happen?
Exactly. So now
who made it happen?
Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it already happened,
but it can be reversed.
Yes, but guess what? It's done. It's done.
No.
No. I'm just saying though. But it happened.
And it's affecting a lot of people right now.
People are dying. It affected a lot of people. But it ain't like Trump not saying that he's for or against abortion.
Excuse me.
No. He's saying let the state control it. Whatever decision they say, whatever decision they make, let the state handle it.
He has said he would allow states to restrict abortion as they see fit.
We moved it back to the states and a vote of the people. And now they're voting.
He has acknowledged that could include...
That's not good enough for me.
It's not a federal thing, it's a state thing. So that's why in some states you still have abortion. He didn't take it away.
He did.
No, he didn't.
He passed the abortion
He did not
rights.
take it away because it's still in some states.
Okay, let's pass it. Let's go back to...
He said let the states handle it. That's what he was saying. Let the states handle it. Don't allow it. Let the states, whatever happen, let the states deal with this abortion thing. If they say they don't want it in their state, okay. So we're going back to the Harris campaign, saying that their focus was mainly on the abortion rights versus the economy. So was there a disconnect now between the campaign, the Harris campaign, and the voters by just them highlighting the abortion rights versus the economy? Because the economy is for everyone. Yes, abortion rights mainly affects women. Person. Yeah, just a woman. And what they were doing, they would forget about the men. And then that's why at the end she's seeing that African Americans, didn't like it. African American men like, oh no. So, yes, we get it. We fought. Okay. You know what? Okay, I'm with you with that. It should be pro-life. Yes, I get you. But your main focus was on abortion rights. And she was
which is important.
She was hoping that the progressive white woman was going to be on her side.
Yeah.
You got to understand something. And their household, the white women, they're going to do what their husbands say.
That's not necessarily.
I'm just saying.
Not necessarily
most of the time,
I don't think that leading.
If the husband
I don't think that that's the case. I don't think that they voted red or Republican because of what their husband said. They voted Republican because in the booth nobody sees what your vote is.
Yes,
I can come home and say I voted red when I know that I voted blue. So I think the main thing right now is that women and men, because even Latinos, even like people that the Democrats thought they had in the bag,
they did it with Hillary Clinton.
Went the opposite direction because of the economy. Right now, people are struggling to even pay their rent.
Yes,
because everything is just gone up.
Yes,
people are struggling to put food on their table. There's less money to spend on entertainment and fun, and leisure, right? People are putting more because all the money is going towards just the basic needs. So what they were looking for in a presidential candidate is for them to tell them that, listen, we are here to cut your taxes so that you don't have to pay so much. We are here to give you so much money back in your pockets. We are here to create more jobs so that you're not. It's not hard to get into a job. We are here to secure the border because these
undocumented immigrants.
The undocumented immigrants that are entering the country illegally are taking your resources away from the rightful people. So this is what people wanted to hear.
Yes.
Increasingly and almost every day, the Harrison campaign, I felt like they did a good job, but it's clear
it wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough, and I guess it wasn't enough time because with Trump, the comparison is he had a lot of time.
He had a lot of time.
He announced. He
He
announced his presidency immediately after the election. I mean, immediately after Joe Biden's was sworn in. Yes. So
in the 4 years, yes, in the 4 years,
a whole 4 years he was campaigning, and also add the 4 years that he campaigned against Biden. So that's like an 8 years.
Yeah, 8 year one. Yes, 8 years. And she only had 4 months.
And before that, the campaign that he campaigned with Hillary when he won.
Yeah.
So that's how many more years?
That's 12.
12 years. So he had 12 years of campaigning versus 3 months. I got to applaud VP Harris for actually running with somebody who campaigned for 12 years versus her campaigning for 3 months. We can give her that applause.
Yes, we can give her that applause. It wasn't all her fault. It was the base fault. Yeah. Because they threw it to the wolves. Like we said, it was the base fault. So she did a good job. She did the best that she can with what she had. She only could do but so much with the 3 months. You gotta remember, she had to climb up a high, steep mountain.
Yeah. And she did a high, steep
mountain, to turn people that didn't like her.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't like her.
Not that they didn't like her, they didn't know her.
They didn't know her, yes.
Because like we said, with VPs, it's really hard to be known because you are in the background of the president. You agree with whatever he says. And especially with the wars that are happening and money going into Ukraine, people are blaming the Biden administration because Biden keeps on putting out billions of dollars to Ukraine and to help with the Gaza war. And this is all American dollars.
All American
that could be
dollars.
helping Americans, get jobs or their economy, infrastructure, you name it. So, for example, in key swing states, the exit polls, you know what an exit poll is, right?
Please explain it to us.
Exit poll.
For some of us that don't know.
Exit poll is when somebody is being surveyed.
Okay.
Immediately after voting.
Okay.
So, they would just throw random people after they come out of the election booth to say, hey, how did it go? What's your thoughts, and how do you think the election is going to go? And you making whatever questions that they ask, you making your mark, voting. Which side did you vote? And over again, people indicated that economic concerns were their top priority. Something that we already know that Trump was listening to, was leading by.
Yes.
Very few people came
even
out
though
to
you
say
didn't really
reproductive rights.
Even though you didn't really know what was his plan was, unless you read his plans.
Yeah.
But because he didn't tell you what was his plan, he just said, "I have a plan."
Yeah, I have a concept of a plan.
Concept of a plan, yes. But even though he didn't say it,
and that can just tell you that it's not him who's going to be running the show.
No, yeah, of course, yeah. But I had
he's just a beautiful face, that beautiful orange face behind the show. Right. So balancing, I think the downfall of the Democrats is that they were unable to balance social issues with economic policies. You know, they just focused on one social issue, which was reproductive rights, and they ran with that.
Yes.
But then forgot that they're creating a disconnect for those voters.
Everybody else.
Yes, who maybe probably have children already who really don't care about reproductive rights, who more concerned of how are we going to live right now in terms of the economy.
How are we going to take care of our family? What about our pockets?
Exactly. So I think that was a fatal blow in the Kamala campaign, just not them focusing and on the economy, but also just coming in and just hitting on another candidate because they were just on him, and ended up we have President Joe Biden ended up calling by mistake inverted commas because if you listen to it, we're gonna roll it again.
Businessman, he only cares about the billionaire friends he has and accumulating wealth for those at the top. He says immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country. Give me a break. He wants to do away with the birthright citizenship. Who the hell has said that in the last 100 years? And just the other day, a speaker at his rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Well, let me tell you something. I don't know the Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization.
He clearly says they are a piece of garbage, after what the comedian had said. And this coming from a sitting president didn't sit well with a lot of voters, even though they called it out to be just a slip of the tongue.
Yeah, because another thing too, because if you keep saying somebody racist, I remember that other people say, you're talking about me. Some people could be saying that.
But not even that. We already had 4 years of Trump.
I know.
So people are like, okay, even before that, you said the world is going to end. This is going. None of those things happened. But instead, Trump came out with a good economy.
Yeah, we lived through. You're right. Even though it wasn't him.
Of course, we know that already. It was the work of Obama for 8 years.
Yes, for 8 years.
Because in 4 years, you can't really do much.
No.
So, but he maintained it.
He maintained it. Yes, he maintained it. He would have maintained it if it wasn't for
the COVID.
Yeah, and he would have. If it wasn't for COVID, he would have won that election. He would have won because, like I say, he was maintaining it. So that's the reason why they didn't vote for him the last time, because of COVID. Yeah, the way he mishandled COVID.
Yeah. Talk about the rhetoric and voter perception of how they made Trump. What do the Kamala campaign made Trump look like? And how they were they kept on labeling him a racist, like you were saying, and how they were calling him all these different names. How do you think that affected the voter?
Yeah, it could have been affected because nobody want to hear that. Especially if you're trying to.
But that's his character. He kept on showing over and over again this is who he is.
Sometimes when it's just like when you're talking about a black person, right? And you're talking negative about a black person, and what you think the next black person will say? You're talking about me. That's the same thing. Sometimes the white American could be saying because you calling him racist. Like, okay.
So was it a perception that white Americans thought that they were being called racist?
It's possible. Like, you calling him racist, then I guess
that's
I'm racist.
That's a point.
I guess I'm racist.
Okay.
You call it him racist, I guess I'm racist. So, you know, let's move on with that. Because, you know, okay, we know he do have a bad character. We know
very bad.
We know that some of the things he does wasn't right. But don't, again, go back to bad publicity. It's good publicity. Yeah. You know, if you keep talking about Donald Trump, you know what they're going to do? You know what they're going to do?
Yeah.
They're going to search him. Now, because you talking, the more you talk about Donald Trump, the more they're going to search him. The more they're going to try and find out about it. Now they're digging, and now they searching, and now they researching. And guess what happened when they research? They might find something that they like.
Right.
Because now they might find his policy. Because they did research on Donald Trump. Guess what? Because they did research on Donald Trump, oh, wow, they see his policy. You know what? His policy is not that bad. Yeah. Because you kept bringing his name up into the media, they should have just like, okay, and that could have been their downfall as well, because even Democrats was tired of saying, you know, oh, he racist. Like, I wish they just stop it already
and focus on policy.
Yeah, even the Democrats
push policy more than anything.
Yeah, I was tired.
But then on the other end,
we know what Trump was. You had to keep saying it.
But what Trump was also pushing it in our face and speaking all these things about the other races.
And what they always say, right? What they always say, you kill them with kindness. You kill them with kindness. You kill them with kindness. You know, you don't have, you know, you don't be an eye for eye, tooth for tooth. No, you don't have to do that. Somebody got to be the bigger person.
Right.
We know what we're gonna get from him.
So but that's the thing that we know.
Yeah,
and that's what scares me, is that we're still going for something that we already know isn't good for everyone. And we know
his base was strong already. His base gonna vote for him regardless.
And they've been pushing it
they're gonna vote for him regardless. You need Kamala.
I think Kamala really...
the people, her base, to back her and vote for her, because we know his base was coming out to vote.
And I think the biggest mistake,
you had to turn the Democratic to your side and the independent. People that was
I think she did neglect the Democratic voter. You know, she focused on turning some Republicans to become Democrats, which she managed to do to a certain extent. Very few people did publicly declare that they're going to be voting Democrat for the first time over Republicans. But also what she did was, she not only focused on, like we said, reproductive rights and trying to convert some Republicans into Democrats, she also did not put focus on Pennsylvania, which carries 19 electoral votes. 19. The states that she focused on, I believe, was Michigan, Detroit, and, you know, she did not, they still didn't win. She still didn't win that.
No, she did. You're right. She still lost Michigan, and so, because she lost everything, every swing state Biden won, Trump won.
So she only won Democratic states.
Yes, basically. That's all she won. She won the Democratic states. That's all she won.
So she couldn't convert even independents. Because that was also one of her focus, converting independents to swing over.
She couldn't convert the swing states. All those non-swing states, she lost. Every last one of them. Florida, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Georgia, Nevada, Michigan, Wisconsin.
Okay.
She lost all 9 swing states. The states Biden won, she lost. All she had to do was keep, but like I said,
when you're saying it like that,
that's why it was a landslide. Just like Biden,
it was a landslide.
Biden was a landslide when it finished counting, because he won all the swing states. Biden won
and it is said that Donald Trump won the popular vote after, I think, since like decades back. I don't remember the year, but it's been a while since a Republican president won the popular vote.
Okay,
he won the popular vote after, I think, since like decades back. I don't remember the year, but it's been a while since he even beat himself from the last election, because he didn't win the popular vote.
No.
You know, so he did exceptionally. It was like
but
a red wave.
His base was strong. We knew his base was going to vote for him. We knew that. We knew his base I mean,
So the party highlighting on Trump's past really was a flop. It was a
flop. It was a flop. Yeah, well, it didn't do no good because people was tired of hearing it. And I think they
because people already knew what kind of person.
And I think they realized it too at the end. That's why they were trying to be nice and calm, but it might have been too late.
Because they were saying they were running on kindness and
but I think that was too late. That could have been too late because you did it, or you after months and months and months of saying negative things and calling.
It wasn't months and months and months. 3 months.
Okay, 2 months.
But
after 2 months or whatever, and then the last month or the last few weeks, you want to? Cause I seen the switch when they were but
Harris's campaign has always been about positivity.
Yeah, but they were throwing those shades.
Just like how Republicans were throwing shade.
No. Okay, yes, but
they threw their shade too. That's why I said in the beginning of this podcast is that.
But here's the thing. Okay,
I can't finish my sentence.
Okay.
That's why I said everybody after a loss is going to try and come up with a reason why the Democrats lost. And nobody really knows the answer except for the one who went to vote.
Yes.
That's it. There's going to be finger pointing. There's going to be blaming because people are hurt.
Yes. Now, can I say something too?
Yes, sir.
Even though Trump and the base was throwing negative and throwing shade, the base don't care what Trump was saying. They was going to vote for him regardless.
Yeah. And
it was the Democrat. On the other hand, Harris, you throwing shade. They were
I don't want to say tired because we wanted to know what she's running against.
Yes.
But I think.
But we was also tired of hearing it.
I don't think it was exhaustion. I think it was.
I was tired of hearing it.
I think it was the fact that nobody really knew her, so she had to put herself out there more because she had only 3 months.
3 months.
And 3 months versus 12 years is not enough.
Yes. And this is why you had to go everywhere. And anytime you're invited
in 3 months, what more can you do?
You got
she tried. She did podcasts. She even did Saturday Night Live. I mean, the woman tried.
I know. She tried. She did
it wasn't enough because probably it wasn't enough time because we know American politics, for 2 years, you need to start campaigning. 2 years. She only had 3 months.
Yes.
3 months. So give the woman a break.
No, I give her grace because she did her best. You give her grace because she did her best. She did her best for what she had.
Let's talk about engaging black voters before we come to an end.
And many black men.
But many black men, because most black women, not all, but most black women, the polls say they voted for her, for Kamala. Maybe because of them seeing themselves in her, I believe Asian women did too. Indian.
They are black.
Yeah, Indian woman, because they can relate. They felt represented. But when you look at the black men, I was surprised though. Why? For black men to be against Kamala, because black men are used to black females leading in the family. Mm-hmm, yes. Most black families are led by the female.
I was just talking to someone about this, right?
Yeah.
I was telling her, I said, a woman is in charge, right? Yeah. Because look at this. With a black family, if let's say the wife passed away before the husband. That husband probably ain't gonna live past 6 months.
He remarries.
No, yeah, right. But most of the time, especially when they late in life and they've been a long time, they've been together for 40, 50 years.
He can't survive.
He can't survive because she was everything.
Yeah.
She was the backbone.
That's what I'm saying. Else he remarries. If he doesn't remarry, he dies.
Yeah, he dies. If he don't remarry right away, he's gonna because he's gonna like, okay, what to do next after, because she was doing everything.
Yeah.
But a woman, on the other hand, if a man passes away,
things even get better.
Yeah.
Without the man, I'm telling you, things even get, because sometimes the man is blocking her to even progress better because he's so selfish and jealous. Because these black men sometimes can be. They feel like, oh, she thinks she's all that now because maybe no, I'm carrying this family for the both of us.
Yes.
So yeah.
So a female probably, you see them now. men, they can pass away. Man, the women still living 10, 15, 20 years, and they're still strong.
And they're thriving.
And they're still thriving. They're still going strong. Like,
and the family is better.
Yeah, like, yo, but it was an opposite.
Because the blocker is gone.
But on the opposite, the woman passed away first.
Yeah.
Man, he's probably like, if he don't get remarried, he's gonna like, yo, he ain't gonna want to live no more.
Yeah, and we've seen that a lot.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, the black, but I think it was our opportunity, because at least we know if she would have won, guess what? We had a fighting chance for black people. So I think black people should have stood behind her.
Not shoulda. Because shoulda is like, you better. No. I mean, it's a decision at the end of the day. Because do we vote by our race or do we vote by policy?
Policy.
That's the thing.
Not policy. But still, I think we would have been better off if Kamala.
Because we already know that Trump, I mean, it's out there. He's not even hiding it. He's not for the black man.
No.
He's not for the black person.
But we could benefit from it, though.
I don't know.
From his policy.
I don't know.
But it's like I said, again, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be harder.
All I know that the next 4 years are not going to be easy.
It's not.
On a black person.
It probably not.
Yeah.
It probably not.
Yeah.
It's probably not.
So
but she's because she focused, she went hard on the abortion. The black man said, okay, I get it. I understand. I'm with you. But you know what? What about us?
Yeah.
You know, and this is what she tried to do at the end, but it was too late when she tried to come to Georgia.
And I think asking President Barack Obama to go and convince black men and them feeling like...
Yeah, and that's another thing, too, because you was talking that... I'm sorry.
Finish my boy. Oh, my God.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Them feeling like he's talking down on them.
Yeah, that's what messed up. That messed it up
like you sending your little boy here to come tell us this when he's coming from his mansion and he doesn't know the real struggles of black men. So you got it wrong.
Yeah. And they're like, now you're coming to us. You should have did that from the beginning. You know, now.
But I think with politics, you can never be right.
I know you can't be.
You know, because a lot of diplomats out there. You know, people who are career politicians who studied this, but still, you can give as much advice, you can analyze as much as you can, but if the main person doesn't go through with it, it's useless. Just like how Trump occasionally said, he hates these written speeches. He rather just goes and speak his mind. Yes. And his mind usually put him, you know, in a negative span because he was saying all the wrong things, you know, because that's how he thinks. He doesn't think, he has no filter. He doesn't think how it's going to... He's like a kid. He doesn't think he doesn't care. He's a billionaire. Yeah. He doesn't care what people are going to think about him. He doesn't care how it's going to land on the person, on people's... people when they hear that he's calling, for example, Africa shit countries, you know, like... As a person from Africa, that I did not like because I don't come from a shit country. I live in one. Ooh. I just said that. And people will ask me, then why are you remaining there? Well, because...
You're married.
That's one. And also because we've been sold a dream about America being the greatest country in the world. We'll have a podcast on that to really discuss. Is it really the best country in the world? Because it doesn't come number one in a lot of things. We'll look at that. Where does America fall number one in? What makes them say that they are the best in the world?
Opportunity.
We're not there. we're here. Because other countries have opportunities too.
Okay. Yes.
You know? We have a list of them, but they don't call themselves the best countries in the world. So
we sold that though.
You sold that. You sold that. So they lost on. Let's just touch on this quickly because we've over time. Trump's emphasis on family and traditional values, which the Democrats did not focus on, especially when it comes to gender identity.
Yes,
you know, already we know that in schools, kids are being taught. You know,
it's okay
to change your gender and stuff like that. And even though, like, Trump has been pushing that kids are coming back from school with a different gender, that's not true, okay? That's not true. It is not true. No parent, no school would allow a child to go and do a sex exchange without the parents' consent, okay? But
But they are teaching
it has been exactly.
Yes,
it has been allowed in the curriculum.
Let the children be children.
It's been confusing most children.
Yes.
And children have been feeling that it's okay. And at 12, you can't really know.
No, you don't know.
Right or wrong.
You don't know.
They're
still learning. They don't
even know who they are.
Yeah, they're still learning. So let children be children.
Yeah.
Don't try to force because they don't know. Yeah. Let them be children. Let a child at 5, 7, 10, he's still in the developing years.
Don't shove such information.
Yeah, don't shove that growing up.
So I guess this election has really opened up most people's eyes, and we'll see what the next 4 years have in store for us.
They got a lot of work to do.
All we have to do also is just pray that God leads Trump.
He's in charge at the end of the day. Jesus is in charge. He's the author and finisher of our faith.
Yeah, but for people who follow him.
Yes.
Oh, Trump, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. He's not make sure. Trump is not make sure about him being, a Christian or not, because he can't even quote the Bible.
Well, Christian, everyone say they're Christian, but are they a believer? Are they spiritual? That is a difference between Christian.
Are you led by the Holy Spirit?
It's a difference between Christian and spiritual.
Yes.
I'd rather be spiritual because at least I'm led by the Spirit of God. Yeah. I'm not led by because if you're spiritual, yes, you pro-life. We talk about life. Yes, you pro-life, but you will be pro-life across the board. Okay, what about the black men? What about them? When you say, you're giving immunity to police officers that will that would shoot down a black person or a black woman. You could, it could be a black woman to be in her kitchen and then she get gunned down because she called a cop in the blood of Jesus Christ, but she get gunned down. But that person would get immunity for doing things like that.
Yeah, so it's been interesting 4 years. We're just gonna hope.
But you pro-life though.
Yeah. So we're just gonna hope for the best.
That's a Christian.
As we conclude, because you see this, my American.
I get excited, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, really excited.
I'm excited, because regardless, we know Jesus is in charge. God is in. At the end of the day, it was His plan for Him to win. We don't know why His ways is not our ways, and His thoughts is not our thoughts, but His ways and His thoughts is higher than our thoughts. So we know why God allowed.
We don't know why.
No, we don't know why.
You said we know. I refuse
we
that.
Don't,
we don't know why.
Right.
We don't know why.
We know why. We don't know
why God allowed it.
Yeah, we don't know why He allowed it, but He allowed it because God knew the plans that Trump was going to be doing.
All I can say
is it's a reason. So the thing is, He's in charge.
As we conclude,
and the word's not coming to the end. He kept us through slavery, black people. He kept us through Jim Crow. He kept us through Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan. He kept us through both the Bush. He kept us through the first Trump term. So all these different things. He kept us through all of that. He'll keep us now.
Amen.
Just got to keep praying.
What I could say in conclusion is that the 2024 election offers critical insights for the Democratic Party.
Yes, they got to do a lot of homework.
Strategic leadership choices, we already spoke about them, that they were not the greatest. And aligning campaign messages with voter priorities is what they should be focusing on. Thoughtful rhetoric is also what they should push going forward. And genuine engagement with black voters, not coming in last minute, to actually try and rescue themselves and see, what about the black man, because they just thought that it's going to be automatic since the candidate is black. There's no automatic vote.
No, and stand by your word, because that's another thing. Black people you know what, you promised us for so long because you just expect that we're going to be supposed to vote for you.
Like I said, black on black.
Yeah, black on
So
black.
by learning from these missteps, the party can also develop strategies that resonate with the diverse electorate. Because we know that the Puerto Ricans, the Latinos, and Asians, they went the other way. Jewish, they went the other way. They went the Trump way. And address these multifaceted challenges facing the nation, which is most importantly the economy, because that's what allows people to live a more happier life when they have jobs, they have job security, and they're able to find work after going to college. Because you're pushing to pay for my college loan when I can't even get into college is a problem. We'll see you next time. Thank you for tuning in. Tell us what you think in the comment section about this chat. We're also going to come back probably with another special episode where we're going to be touching on, you know, what's happening right now, like on the grounds, because there's a lot of, I want to call it propaganda. There's a lot of information out there that the white people are already spreading fear upon black people. That's happening. So we're going to do a bit of research and see what's happening and how are people feeling right now. So maybe we'll come with another episode. Just keep on the look, be on the look. Tell us what you'd like to hear more about from us. And we want to say we love you and we appreciate you. See you in the next video.
Deuces.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Peace. Yes, subscribe, like, follow, all the above. And share the video. Share the episode.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.